Hello everybody. I've had this great big chunk of maple floating around my shop for years. Time to do something with it. It is going to be a beast. Another beast. Now this great big huge heavy log is going to be way out of balance on the lathe already. So I decided to go ahead and use my circle cutting jig for the bandsaw to at least start out round. I'm pretty happy with that cut, and I'm really happy with the spalting that I found on the inside of this. Should be a really pretty, great big giant bowl. Georgia Peach had a very good idea. She left it in my comment section on the last video, talking about increments of measurement on the tool rest, so that the viewer could get an idea of how big the actual project was. I liked the idea so much, I went right out to my shop and measured out those inch increments. Well, you can see how fast this lathe is revolving. 245 or thereabouts. I don't think I ever got above about 350 on this entire turn. I tried, but the lathe just wasn't having it. Too much bouncy house. By that, I mean everything was falling off my shelves. The whole shop was shaking. You can see in this video shot right here just how long this bowl took. It took a couple days. It was a challenge. Fun. Now this is a really good shot. It shows a good example of how much pressure you should and shouldn't use. You see the bouncing there? That's me putting too much pressure on the wood with the tool. When I backed off the pressure, it smoothed right out. And let me tell you, that was a hard lesson learned. All I'm doing here is establishing the recess or mortise, which I'm going to use with the 4-jaw chuck in expansion mode. And I actually made the recess a little bit too wide, a little bit more narrow, and the jaws would have been able to grab it a little bit better. I'll point that out once I set the jaws in there. So I sanded up to 220, applied some sanding sealer, which was thinned down shellac, and then I sanded again up to 320. And then I added shine juice as the pre-finish. Ultimately, it's going to be finished with the Axe products again. You can see there where the jaws aren't making contact fully on the inside of that circle because it was just too wide. But this chuck held really well. It's a one-way strong jaw, or stronghold? Strong jaw. I think strong jaw. And I was using it to about max capacity with this turn, but it did great. It never loosened. Real happy with it. Well, this is where I first discovered this huge bark inclusion. And I swear, I could hear people talking in there. It was cavernous. I mean, is it me, or can you hear that? Yes. What's going on inside this thing? Is that who I think it is? Mike Walt, what are you doing in my bowl? It's an honor to have you in my shop. What else is going on in there? Tim Yoder? That's crazy. This bowl is full of surprises. Sam Angelo. I thought you were up in Montana. What? Yuval. How you doing, my friend? Wow, El Furtado. Kyle Toth? Man. Nick Zimetti with a giant pencil. Cat Meddy. I sure learned a lot from you over the years. Kim Tippin. Amazing. Carl Jacobson. Wow. You're the guy that started it all for me. Doug? Looks like Doug Moore. You just got to be different, don't you? Looks like you're next, Doug. Anybody else in there? Well, I hope you enjoyed that little presentation. Even woodturners need a hobby, you know. I appreciate your patience. Well, it took me a while to finally get underneath that bark inclusion, back into the good wood. And once I had that figured out, I thought I'd better make it a little bit more thin. Although you'll see at the end, this bowl is not very thin, but it's proportionate. And it's the identical finishing process on the inside. Just like I talked about earlier in the video. I decided to use the Axe products after I had the shellac on the bowl, just to smooth it out a little bit more and give it a kind of a glossy coat. I didn't high-speed buff it or anything, so it's kind of a satin finish, but I think it looks really good for this bowl. Let me know what you think. I sure appreciate you watching. Semper Fi.